Hello and welcome to the BoP Mid-Season Awards here at Ball Over Passion. So we're talking this season, we're talking Premier League, obviously, and we're going to be talking about the main players that have been playing well. We've got a lot of different categories to get into, so we're doing things like goal of the season, young player, player of the season, manager of the season, signing of the season, as well as I think most improved. I think we've got a lot of categories to get through and a lot of things to get through. So everyone's here, we've got a full house. How are we doing, boys?
All good, mate.
Immense, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Like just having a look, everyone's excited about transfer season. There's just some mad links, which is just awesome. And then I just think the play in general to kind of come off the back of that performance, mate. It just keeps me smiling, And of course, Son getting injured, adding to the misery of United that's been happening lately. Poor lad. I don't feel sorry for you at all. I'm really happy that you're injured. And yeah, mate, it's looking up because you're looking at our competitors right now. We're playing the best football, period. And you know what? It's not even just the best football of our competitors. It's kind of the best football, in the top three. Even that's the standard that we're playing at. I don't think that we get there in the end. I think other people on the panel have different opinions, but we're playing there, and that's what's getting me excited. What we did against Manchester City can't be overdone, and I just can't stop thinking what that means for the rest of the season because we have the capability to do it.
Good. First of all, I just want to say, just clarify this. This isn't Arsenal specific. This is the whole Premier League. So we're talking.
But we're the best in it, so
I mean, we are.
This is where I see it. So
what I'm trying to just kind of clarify what we're doing right now. But
by the way, the Canadian just used "in it," so just for all your people. But anyways,
yeah, but you also doesn't matter at all. Like what? Okay, cool. Whatever. I don't really know what that was, but cool. What do you want to start with? Player of the season?
Can do.
Young player? What are we doing? Player of the season, yeah?
That is where you should start, to be fair.
Think so, yeah.
And then we'll start with you then, CK. Who's your player of the season? And then give me a reason why, mate.
For me, I think it's quite clearly Salah. I think if we did this a couple of weeks ago, it would be like undoubtable, like maybe a month back, because I think he started on better form than he's in any season he's ever had. He's got the most goals in the league, most assists in the league by far. I think he's on 14 goals or something, 14 goals and 10 assists or something like that.
16 goals, CK, 10 assists.
16 goals, 10 assists. So yeah, 26 goal contributions in less than 26 games. I think the way he started, like against all the big teams, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, he scored against everybody. I just think, yeah, he's the best player in the league, the best player in the world right now on form. So yeah, for me, it's Salah, and it's not as that close. I think I don't think it's close.
All right, and welcome back, Z. So we'll go to you next. How you feeling, boy? And
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What are you thinking? Player of the season?
Yeah, bro. Look, I agree with CK on Salah, man. I think Salah's been amazing, but I just feel like I have to be different, man. It's just my style, so I'm going with Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva's been pretty good this season actually, and especially in big games, he's had some standout performances. I know one of the big games that comes to mind is against Manchester United when he scored that goal, and then you could just see like he was meant to be the cast out of that Manchester City team, but now he's looking undroppable, really, from Pep Guardiola's perspective. And so for me, Bernardo Silva has to be my player of the season. I feel like he's part of the main reason why Manchester City are so dominating. And look, the league table says it all, really. So
he didn't perform versus us, just want to say.
Oh God, I'm so glad he didn't. But for me, overall this season, he's been very good.
George,
this bastard took my thing at the top, for me, look, I hear this shouts for Salah in terms of just pure output. Like the guy's been immense, but in the last month and a half, he's struggled a bit in terms of imposing his play. He wasn't as red hot as he was at the start of the season, but for me, when I look at it, I'm looking at who was the team kind of in this season that's exerted the most control and who is the most responsible for that, not necessarily just goal and assist exploits. And that's not to diminish that, Salah's an output machine, because it's not. He has so much more to his team. But for me, at least, I think Bernardo Silva has just been so key to what City have been able to do. They kind of they give him they give Pep rather kind of something different to use in the midfield. Like, even against us, it didn't really work. But the idea is that Bernardo Silva can give you a kind of an overload both deep and ahead. And that's been the biggest difference, because Rodri's had an improved period of form. There's a little bit on him, but I think that's mainly to do with Bernardo Silva kind of being like a key in that center, opening things for Manchester City, because they look a lot more fluid. They look a lot more in control of matches. And I think that's primarily down to Bernardo Silva, and his ability to kind of just go anywhere in that front line and solve problems. He's kind of this person that you can plug and place anywhere, and he kind of keeps things going. But at the same token, he's been something different, defensively even. And I've just felt that, he's kind of taken that City team by storm. For me, he's been their best player by far, especially when you think about how far off Kevin De Bruyne has fallen. And you're thinking about this team where they never needed a 9, but they always needed drive from midfield. Every successful City team had that. And when I look at, Kevin De Bruyne, who looks a shell of himself, for me, Bernardo Silva stepped up to the plate and more. I mean, you had the summer issues of him potentially going, but just his pure play has been immense. So, yeah, for me, it's Bernardo Silva.
Willow?
It's got to be Mohamed Salah, as CK said. 16 goals, 10 assists. I think he's got 7 goals, 2 assists against the top 6 this season. The guy can create goals out of absolutely nothing, as we've seen this season. The guy is the best player in the world at the moment. He is immense. I know what George was saying about the last month. He's kind of fell off a bit, but look how reliant Liverpool are on him. The amount of points he's got Liverpool this season. He turns up in the big games. He turns up in the small games. He's only blanked in 3 games this season where he hasn't got a goal and an assist. That is crazy. Like, the guy is just insane on what he does, and he's a joy to watch. He really is. I love watching him. Every time I switch on the TV and watch Liverpool play, I love watching Mohamed Salah get the ball, because you just do not know what this guy's going to do with it.
I don't know if he stays, guys. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if he stays, because I think they're really going to suffer with the AFCON coming up in terms of the impact on their season, and it's going to be almost trying to play catch up. The season's kind of done for them. As a Liverpool fan, really, when you look at the title, it's been wrapped up. And I wonder, does FSG really give him what he wants? He is one of the best players in the world and deserving of that salary.
But where does he go?
PSG, I've said it for over a year. I see it very clearly to replace Mbappe. I think that's a very big thing that they're going to do, especially with Hakimi on the outside. Like, how they need somebody to replace Mbappe from the stature. I really see that happening. I've said it for over a year, and I just don't know if FSG are going to kind of put up the cash. They've never done it to that level before.
I'm sure FSG actually have come out and said that they're actually looking to refresh the team. They've not necessarily said that they're going to invest in the team. But they just want to. They want a refreshment. So I mean, that kind of indicates that they're looking to go purely a new direction, and that probably means that Salah and Mane might go, and they probably might just play with their youths and I don't know, the Jotas and Firminos, really.
Mate, people praise their ability to have a controlled wage package, but that only works when you're on top. That only works when you as a team are at the summit, and everyone can understand that buy-in from that culture perspective, but that only works if you're at the top. And right now, to be so clear, from Manchester City, for me, he's done it all in the league, and he has to get paid. Like, it's his last big pay package. And so for me, I hear where he's coming from. Like, you look at Paul Pogba, who's probably been offered a £500,000 a week offer, making him probably the best played, player in the Premier League. Now, this may not be true, but at the factual point, the market is what? At £400,000 a week minimum? Now, if Haaland comes through Manchester City, expect that wage packet to go up. Can Liverpool compete at the £350,000 a week plus bracket? I've not seen it. I've not seen it. I've not seen them ever willing to do it. And there's never been a player more deserving than Mohamed Salah.
Well, George, you say that though, but their pay packet works differently to most other clubs. Yeah, they have how they start off, but they have.
But when it's successful, mate, you can't do that when you're not successful. When you're not at the top of the summit, and you're not getting paid what you're owed, you're going to say, well, I'm going to leave.
But with their bonuses, that's the thing. A lot of them do get paid a lot more than what they are normally on. Like you may see, like someone like Henderson on 120k a week, but he gets paid like over 200k a week because of all the bonuses included. That's what Liverpool's structure is
but it's never to the same standard, mate. Like there is a significant difference from a Chelsea, even Arsenal perspective. Look, we've changed our wage bill, but we have always paid well in wages all the time, and they're just a better version of Tottenham. But they're not at the elite level of wage brackets, and their squad is in need of a huge rebuild. It's not just Mohamed Salah. Mane's struggling, so they're going to have a huge rebuild. Like, does Salah want to commit the last portion of his contract where he won't get the top wage that he deserves, but also to a team that's going to need a rebuild?
But George, they spent the most money. They spent the most money in last year on wages, and the year before that, they spent the most money on wages.
Bro, they've had that. They've had the money to spend. That's purely based on their sales. I don't think they're going to make any more sales. They're probably going to have to let those players go for free, and that's where the biggest like stringing point for FSG is. But they don't have any like income coming in for those kind of players. So the only way they can actually compete is actually keeping those players, or just letting the contract run out. But I don't know like what they're going to do. And to be fair, it just reminds me of the situation we were in when Alexis and Mesut Ozil were at the club, and we needed to at least let one of those players go to actually make sure that everybody else's wages are distributed correctly. And so I don't know if they're going to be choosing between Salah or Mane. It's going to be interesting to see what they do really, but I think Salah is the one that they're going to be taking the bite on, because he's probably going to be be offered like a huge amount of money from other clubs, probably PSG or Real Madrid.
Yeah, so
I mean, they're the fourth. Like when you look at the league, they are the fourth in terms of their wage. They're not the first though. Well,
No,
like I'm just looking.
They are
like
the
they're
first. You may be looking up maybe they're starting off strong, but once bonuses are done, they are the first. They're number one on spent on wages.
But when the bonuses aren't going to be hit every year.
They're not, and they're all on outcome based. I would imagine they're not like if you play 20 EPL appearances, it shoots up from 120 to 200. I'm sure it's from a UCL win.
It was. What did they do last year? What's the difference between last year and what would be this year? They'll be getting the same
UCL win. That's it. They don't do Premier League.
But they didn't get a Champions League win last year. They didn't win the Premier League last year, but they still had the highest wage bill out of everyone else. Their bonuses are there. It's
almost 100 million total salary difference. The top one with Manchester United is 227, versus 139. I really doubt it's almost double with all of
the reports are there. If you research into it, the reports are there that show it.
I don't know. I don't know about that. For example, Aubameyang has technically 350 if you really max out his contract, but really he's on 250 for most of it, and he doesn't hit most of his stuff. So maybe Salah does it, but a lot of their team members won't hit their outcomes.
Like Rashford's bonuses go up to 300k.
Yeah,
but he sits on like 150.
So they don't pay exactly that. And I mean, look, Ronaldo's on £510,000 a week. I think if Mohamed Salah goes into that Liverpool office, what do you guys think he'll offer? What do you think he wants?
400 minimum.
400 minimum. Who has the highest base weekly wage at Liverpool?
I think it's Van Dijk. Is it not Van Dijk?
It's Van Dijk. What do you guys think that is?
150, I think.
220,000 K a week.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's just base cost, isn't it?
That's base, by the way.
But when they look, the problem with what Liverpool do is when the best of the best look around the league, and especially when you look to United, because they have the superstars. They've got Varane, Ronaldo, De Gea, or Bruno, Pogba asking for it. Like, they've got so many players on much, much more money than a player at Liverpool is. And all the players talk. Like, they all know.
Of course they do.
It's all out there anyway.
It's public knowledge as well. So when he looks across the league and there's teams much worse than his team and players performing much worse than him, earning hundreds of thousands more than him, he's going to have an issue with it and he's going to ask for more. And Liverpool's the only team that I've never been willing to give the player the 300k plus, because everybody else has.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, but we're kind of going off topic, and let's be real.
We have,
let's be real. There's four of us who have said their opinions.
What's yours? Yeah.
Exactly. I'd like to say mine. It would be nice.
Oh yeah, true. Sorry about that.
It's well, I agree with the CK. I go with Mohamed Salah. I think maybe I'm putting too much of my heart into this. I think in my head, I'm thinking it's got to be Bernardo, but like I can't help myself. The output, the way he plays, the way that he actually runs from out to in, the runs he makes, the dribbles, the way he actually feints and drops his shoulder and makes sure that he can get shots from anywhere in the box, as well as outside the box. He is the best player on the planet at this moment in time, in my opinion. I really do, I do feel like that. He's not. I don't really see anyone on that level at this moment in time.
With the Bernardo thing for me, like he himself hasn't doing that good the past couple games either. Like he's dipped from what
I don't think that anyone can play at that higher level for 38 games though. It's just not, it's not feasible.
I can't look at the best team in the country and attribute the best reason for this utter dominance in the league, and for me not choose the person that's mainly responsible for that domination as my player of the season. I've kind of done the same thing, even last year for their teams with with Spurs and Kane, and I look at who has been really, really responsible. For me, it's got to be Silva, because the way that Man City have gone away from this, finish the league by Jan.
This is the American MVP debate. Is it, do you give it to the best player on the best team, or is it just the best player, no matter what even if he's at a relegation?
I also think it's the best player. Period. I'm not going to lie. I don't look at goal and assists as judging it terribly, and I think that
I don't think any of us do.
Forwards take that from a Ballon d'Or perspective all the time.
What I would say to you is, I agree that Bernardo probably affects all three actions in a greater way than Mohamed Salah does. I will agree to that. But I just feel like the effect that Mohamed Salah has on that Liverpool team, I just don't know where Liverpool are without Mohamed Salah at this level.
Yeah.
When's the last time that we sorted the league by January 7th, the new year?
When Liverpool won it.
Okay. And for me, that's kind of the reason where I place Bernardo Silva at that point. And I haven't seen a league done this way. And especially by City, with the points, the control that they've done in every game, it's been insane for me. And I don't even I think the Centurion City is a lot funner to watch, but for me, this Man City team is something else. But yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, I agree with Nashville here. I just feel like if you have no Bernardo in this City team, someone steps in.
Yeah.
Someone steps in and contributes. It means that someone else gets a higher level. I don't know what Liverpool is without Salah. Like he is literally so much to them. Like I don't feel like any of their front line is at the same level as they were, and Salah is just there. He is there every game. I think Willow said it before. 3 games he hasn't contributed in.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think we should move on. Right. Young player manager. Let's do manager first. Let's switch up a bit. Let's do manager of the season. Let's go to Willow first. Willow, what do you think? Managers of the season.
I wasn't actually manager of the season. Sorry, actually go to manager of the season. I was ready for the young player of the season. I was not ready for manager.
Switched it on you.
You switched it on me. The thing is, you've got Pep. Obviously, he's up there because of what he's doing with City. You've got David Moyes at West Ham. Done an absolutely brilliant job. I think you got to put Arteta's in there. The haters are going to hate Arteta out, but you got to put my boy Arteta's in there. That's probably what you're looking at. I would like to put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in there as well. Love you, Ole. We'll miss you forever and always, my darling boy.
I want to put the master of the godfather of gegenpressing in there. I want to dance with the gegenpressing god. Like it's time. We need to get him in there as well for sure. But what are you thinking, Willow?
I think I'm gonna have to be boring, really, and you got to go Pep this season. I don't know, or do I got David Moyes? Even the Wolves manager, I like. I'm liking a lot of managers this year. A lot of managers.
Bruno Lage is
Bruno Lage. I tell you what, by the end of the season, he may be up there. He may be up there. But the results he gets with Wolves at the moment, he may be really up there. But I think I'm going to have to go with, just because I think West Ham are going to fall off as well. Or do I? No, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go David Moyes. David Moyes.
There you go.
I'll go David Moyes. David Moyes
Go
has
on,
had.
Willa, stick to your
Do you
convictions.
think for the team they have, and also for the players that are available, you know, they've had sufferers of injuries as well. And you also look as well as who they've beat. They've beat Liverpool this season. They've beat Chelsea this season. They've beat, who else they beat this season? They beat Tottenham. I can't remember who else they beat this season. But
they're us last season. They're going to get consistency, great games against the top 6, but on the whole, they're going to struggle against teams outside the top 6.
And they have. And the thing is, though, like by the end of the season, I know David Moyes ain't going to be the manager of the season, but so far, I think he's done a great job. And you look at what they've actually got available to them, I think he's doing a very, very good job. He's overperforming, isn't he?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think he's one of the candidates for sure. Z, go on. Z, what are you thinking?
No, to be fair, I'm gonna go with Pep. I think there shouldn't be that much of a debate there because I feel like he is clear in terms of like how he plays, how he has his philosophy, and the main thing is he's clear in the league as well. I think he's already won the league. It's January, and it's just he is going to be the best manager in the league until he leaves the league in itself. So I think it has to be Pep this season. I think the other kind of runner-ups for me would be Bruno Lage from Wolves. I think he's come in and done a brilliant job. He's made Wolves play some brilliant football, and he's actually, well, they're not that far off the top 6 or the top 4 really. They've got some games in hand, and I think a shout out to Moyes as well. I think he's made. He's actually brought West Ham as far as he could. I think that's it. I don't think they can get any higher than where they've been, which was 4th place a few months ago. But I think overall he's done a good job. So I think those are my top 3, but Pep has to be the pick of the bunch.
Just to clarify, it's 7 points off top 4 with 1 game in hand.
So that's pretty good.
Pretty good. George?
There's a lot of like interesting managers. I think by the end of the season, Gerrard will jump up Villa, and so he'll be in with a shout. He came in too late to really be considered for this, in my opinion. Another one, Thomas Frank, I think has been absolutely phenomenal in the league, and he really suffers from no David Raya, which really kills Brentford and their ability to play out from the back. But when you were looking at it, he was the new Graham Potter for a lot of people in terms of an unknown coming in, playing beautiful football and really dominating teams. I love Bruno Lage as well. I think the boys are spot on. He's definitely an out there pick. But look, I'm going to put bias in this. I don't even know if it's bias because I've waxed so much lyrical about City, and it's true. Pep needs to deserve the flowers that he's got for the way that he's controlled games. But for me, who was the manager that had the biggest gap between what people expected and where they're at? And for me, that's us and with Mikel. And when I look at how we've been able to adapt, I know here at BoP, we've all been pretty strong on us getting top 4, essentially. Some want 3rd. But we were very much the minority. You know, we were very much, the minority in what people
felt.
Laughed
at, let's be real.
But we were laughed. We were made fun of. Everyone felt that a really great season was 6th place. There were tons of people that seriously felt 8th was the position of where we would be at. And
10th
to look at it, to get the same amount of points as Liverpool in the year of 2021 with the squad that we have is remarkable. We don't have the depth of other teams. We don't have the quality of other teams, but we are playing that way. And, the person to beat Pep, the best that I've ever seen him beat, and I'm calling it that way despite the score line, was, Mikel. So for me, it's got to be Mikel, because I think he's continuing to break narratives. He's continuing to break plan. And although I felt he would get 4th, and I felt Pep would get, 1st by a margin and do it quite clear very early, I expected all these things. But I think many people were outside of my own thinking. Many people felt Pep would win this league early and by a margin. I don't think many people thought that Mikel not only would be in contention for top 4, but be the favorites. Like, I don't know if you guys realized like how crazy that is. People felt that we were lucky to get Europe, and we've now turned into the favorites for top 4 halfway through the season. If anybody told you that was going to be the case, the amount of huge bets that I'm going to win is going to be absolutely mad. And so for me, I think that dichotomy of what people expected to where we're at right now is the biggest for Mikel right now than any other manager. And I mean, I've got some love for Paddy and Graham Potter, but I think Graham Potter was a little bit better last season tactically. And I think Paddy has done well, but for me, I feel that he's done well with some good players. I don't know if he's done anything crazy for me to really put him up there from Bruno Lage's perspective. I think Thomas Frank, he doesn't have David Raya out. We're looking at a European push for Brentford. And they were on that trajectory, which was insane to me. And I always felt that Thomas Frank was a really special manager, but he's proven that he could do it here. And to do it with Brentford, by the way, I don't know the monetary value of their squad, but it's got to be up there for one of the cheapest in the leagues. And they've done it without, Josh Da Silva, who's a previous youngster of ours, who was a major part of their form. So yeah, but I will go with Mikel.
Siget?
I don't want to waste any time. It's Arteta, and for me, the reason why I give it to him over Pep, who obviously has been very good, I think the performance versus them helps. I think the consistency and changes I've seen throughout the season from us in certain positions, like obviously we started very poorly with COVID and stuff, and we overcame that. But stuff like that for me is why Arteta is the best. I think expectations, obviously, most expected us to finish 8th or 6th. Most expected us to, in fact, 6th is a push. Most expected us to finish 8th, some 10th. They thought
people were saying we would be in a relegation fight by Christmas, and then it would be too late to save the season.
And it wasn't banter, guys, because there was serious opinions.
Well, even the first team ever to finish, to be 20th after the first 3 games, then be in the top 4 by Christmas. The first team ever to do that. So, and then we scored like our most goals in a month since 1930 or something like that. So yeah, for me, it's definitely Mikel. And obviously, Pep can have his flowers, but he should give that award to Mikel himself. That's what I think.
There's a couple of, before I say mine, there's a couple of honourable mentions there to go to. One is Paddy. I feel like Paddy, it's very clear with Paddy that he's invested in youth and he's invested in talent that is going to demand success in the next couple of years. He's set up a structure there that is really going to push hard. So it's very much, I do believe in Paddy, and I think he will come good. Graham Potter again. I think he's not as a light. Let's be real. He is the light version of Mikel. He plays the same 3-2-5, 5-channel attack, but he doesn't have the quality for it, and he has been exposed by the lack of quality in his squad at times. And if you lose Basuma for that he has lost, you're going to struggle. And there were calls that they were going to be doing the season that we have right now, that they would be challenging for the Champions League, and they were, because they started very well. 5 games in, it's 15, 17 points, something ridiculous like that, and they're going to be in the Champions League spots. And he started very well, but I don't think he's gone anywhere. The best mention has to be for Nuno Espirito Santo for really ruining Spurs this season, making that they don't have a chance for top.
Can we do worst manager too? Sorry.
Yeah, cool.
Can we do worst manager?
We'll do worst manager as well. But in reality, I do agree with the boys. I do think it's Mikel, and I'm going to take it a different tact than both CK and George. The amount of pressure that was on Mikel after Villarreal, the amount of shit that he was taking from every single way, because there were things that he was doing consistently wrong. There were mistakes that he had made, and he had not been able to. It is biased. What do you mean biased? Of course it's biased. But the point is you can see there's an improvement.
It's not biased for me, by the way.
It's not biased for me. I used the argument genuinely.
No, but the thing is, if it's biased if you can't if you can't back up your opinion. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. And what he's done is he has gone out. He has done the work. He has made sure.
City have never needed a striker, by the way.
Yeah, but they've never needed a striker. Okay, forget the comments for a second. They've actually, he's actually gone, identified what he needed to do, got it done, and made sure that he's going to proceed forward and create a system where you can actually go and challenge for major honors in the years to come, as well as being in a top 4 race, and as well as being in a Carabao Cup semi-final as well. Like, I know it's not as big as
Sure, and
a big a
really,
deal
really
as things.
simply, how I do it, if I were to take 10 random EPL fans on the street of London and pool the average predictions of where they felt Arsenal to be, it would be probably 7th.
Correct.
Let's be
That's
real.
high.
Yeah,
And that's high.
No,
But
yeah,
I'm
that's
being
high.
fair, it was probably 7th. If I pool the average position of 10 EPL fans and said the same question to City, I would say 8 or 9 out of 10 would have said first. Now, where are we at midway through the season? Pep is where he needs to be with the 8 or 9 people, whereas I would say 8 or 9 of the Arsenal predictions were wrong, and we are 4th, not only 4th, but majorly 4th with favorites. So
But
that's my logic for it, not so much the play and who's responsible for the best play, because I still think Pep has made City play, the best clearly. But I think that dichotomy is where my logic
My thing is from being 8th last season to now being 4th on expected points,
and
on
we're there,
goal
yeah.
difference,
Stats, we're all
on
there.
every stat, we are 4th.
Mhm.
Even in XG conceded minus produced, where we're in and around that top 4 race in every metric. Like, people bring up Emery. Emery was 9th on expected points and overachieved to get 5th. We are 4th, and no one. I'm sorry, but the amount of people that were saying we were in 4th was like a minuscule amount, amount. And I'm not. It's not even about patting ourselves on the back. Mikel has done what he's done for a reason, and this is the only reason why I will say that he's the manager of the season so far. And I don't think it's I don't think it's a contest, personally.
Well, I'm just wondering because I don't know how many people, like, legitimately, I think we are the only ones. And please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't met another fan group or another fan channel that was so convinced we would get 4th other than us. Maybe somebody in the comments can please correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to be an ass and discredit other people, okay? But genuinely, I never saw that mentioned. People said we should challenge for 4th. Sure, that was the expectations of the club, but they hid behind that the team isn't ready for it. We were very clearly set 4th, and I felt as though we were the only ones doing it.
This is honest. This is honest.
Mhm.
This is honest, right? I
For sure.
respect that, because a lot of people did think the same. But
And again, this isn't a criticism. This isn't a yay, I'm right, I'm patting it. It's just to illustrate
it's
the
just a
point
fact.
it's just to illustrate the point that I think popular vote didn't agree with us. And so the biggest gap
And went
between
against us. It was like, if you said we could get 4th, like, you would be
You're smoking.
ridiculed and everything.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? We did a video twice on the predictions, and we all said 4th. So the thing is, you can't. No one can actually come to us and say that, you know what, you guys
Before
actually
a ball
probably
was
fluked it. No, we knew that at least at the very least we had the players to get 4th place. But look, 100%. I think credit to the manager. I mean, he has, for me, right. I've always like had a good view of the manager. I liked him, and we had this debate after Manchester City when we lost 5-0 and all that stuff. But I always wanted to see a kind of performance where it kind of makes me feel like I can trust this team against bigger sides. And I think the Manchester City game, it kind of flicked the switch for me, where I'm just like, okay, now I can trust this team, and this is what I just want to see that more and more, and that's the main thing for me. And 100%, I feel like we will get top 4. And I messaged Corin after the game, I was like, I think we're going to prove everyone wrong. We're going to get top 4.
Was there a better peak? Look, and it's kind of weird because City will set the standard continuously, but that performance against City, even with Liverpool at their pomp, were they able to sustain and control the game against this Manchester City?
No.
I've not seen that peak. And by the way, he wasn't there for that performance. He wasn't like, and it wasn't ideal conditions too. It wasn't like, we had the most ideal way of playing. And I've just never seen somebody so bereft. I've never seen City so bereft of it. So yeah, even peak consistency, like however I look at it, that's how I get there. But maybe it's bias. I don't know, lads, because we could be here all day defending.
Yeah, no.
Mikel.
I want to move on, but
can we do worst manager? Because that's fun.
worst manager of the season so far. And
Worst
I'm going to
manager.
start this because it's.
Can I say guys who aren't here? Gone, sacked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Sacked counts.
Oh, I'm saying someone who's still here.
I want to say Conte, but
but
no. I'm just.
I got mine. I got mine, so I'll go.
Go on.
Because I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and I'm gonna be fair, okay? And instead of banter, because I think there's enough banter to go around here. The biggest thing for me is it's going to be an odd one. I think there's a couple ones. Daniel Farke definitely deserves mention just for his record and like the idiocy of how he approached this season is just crazy. But for me, on a personal level, it has to be actually Bielsa, and it's because I felt, and it might be hard because of the injuries he's done, but how I had them for the same logic that I've got Mikel the best. When you look at a pool of Leeds opinion, it was definitely top 10. And, I think they've slid down the most. I feel as though everyone felt that Farke would be in the last position. And, so that difference for me, kind of the same logic as the Mikel, is why I'm arriving at, Bielsa. Because I think everyone felt that Daniel Farke would be the worst manager, and he turned out to be. So it was like, spot on. I don't know if people thought that Bielsa would be so bad. And despite their injuries, which I think it's unfair, it's kind of like the Thomas Frank annoyance with David Raya, but they have a much better squad than Thomas Frank does. And so for me, they should be doing a lot better than that. So yeah.
I'll go next because it's between two for me, and it's Dean Smith or Steve Bruce. And I'm going to go with Steve Bruce. I think when we talk about a team that was coming off a season last year, adding Joe Willock, even though it wasn't enough, the way they ended the season, you would have thought, okay, we can at least keep them in the league. And this team did not win a game under him. He left them in I don't know how many points off 19th. Never mind. I mean, obviously Ollie, but like everyone's gonna say. But the thing is, I'll tell you why not Ollie. Ollie, I feel like the club failed Ollie more than Ollie failed the club, and the way that that they structured that window, and the way they didn't bring in a central midfielder, a proper right winger, not Jadon Sancho, a proper right winger, and a right back. There's so many different positions that he was bereft in to really push that title charge. Bringing in Ronaldo, there's so many different issues. I can't put it all on Ollie. Ollie is a major factor, but Rangnick's there now, and he's playing crappy football himself. So I can't really put it all on Ollie. It's the club. Manchester United are a fugazi club. They're a piece of crap club, and I'm enjoying this so much because all the shit I took in the 2000s from Rooney and Tevez. And, oh my God, we got Nani. We're playing cleverly, and he's sick all of a sudden. Like, no, take your shit and leave. I don't really want to care. I don't care. Go and play in the Conference League for a while. So yeah, that's the United's portion of the evening done. So CK, worst manager.
I think no one gave Nuno Espirito Santo a mention.
Don't worry, CK. I'm about to give him a spanking, brother.
What was he, the 9th choice? No, I can't do that. It's like the 9th choice.
He was like 12th choice.
I got a phone call from Spurs before he did. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Who else is new?
I can't wait for the end of the season. This is gonna be. It will be the best. Like, just a rant on how different teams have performed. It's gonna be so good.
Dean Smith deserves a mention, guys.
Yeah, he does. I did mention him, but just Bruce for me is just like.
I think Bielsa hasn't helped himself in the sense that he's lost so many key players, but he never changes anything. He just keeps everything the exact same way, regardless of who they have on the pitch. And obviously, he's had Phillips, Rafinha, Bamford out for months at a time.
Bamford is massive for me because he's been out
at the same time. Like, he had them all out at the same time. So yeah, it was tough for him. But I think
It's the definition of stupidity, though, isn't it, Chris? To have a high press without those players, it's almost
Yeah.
like it's
And
getting to the
even with
point
them,
where
even with them, regardless of the level they're playing at Championship, Premier League, he always like falls off at a certain extent because it's too much. In fact,
he
yeah,
fell
that's
off in fall. Normally we haven't even experienced the traditional fall off of Bielsa yet. Like they normally fall
normally
off.
it's
Guys,
February.
please let me just say something, right? Duncan Castles, you know the United journalist Duncan Castles. He's just tweeted out a tweet and he's put thoughts on Ralph Rangnick's Man United formation, the Dick formation.
Oh God,
The
fitting,
Dick formation.
fitting.
I think, I'll give it to I'll give it to Hassan Hooter. I've never liked that guy.
Oh, that's a good shout, actually.
I've never liked him, and he's always been praised so highly. I'm not sure why, but he always has been. I think he doesn't help his team either, because all he does is work on a press. Like there's nothing else they do. But yeah, I think there's some big mentions, but yeah, I'll give it to Hassan Hooter.
They're doing better. It has to be for me because, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, what is just curiosity wise? Do you guys remember your worst pick in terms of team in the table that we predicted? But I'll ask that question after. We'll go to
Leeds,
Z and Willow first, but maybe have that in mind just really quickly.
Oh, man.
Wait, what? Like the one that's furthest away?
Yeah, like the furthest away team. If you remember, I know mine's Leeds because I had them quite high up. But
Mine's
I think I had Leeds quite low, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, you had Leeds. You had Leeds and Brentford very low. I remember Brentford for me was that was mad to me.
You relegated Brentford, didn't you?
Yeah, I think they had given him 20.
Ivan Toney agenda, man. Some agenda's got agenda.
Z, what's your worst manager, bro?
Man, I think honestly it has to be somewhere between Nuno and Dean Smith, because I feel like the way we played against those two teams at the Emirates, I feel like we just brushed them off the park, really. So I don't know who to actually think. Like, who did we have a better performance?
It's got to be Nuno though, just from reputation wise.
Yeah, no, obviously, but
probably.
No. Can I change my answer?
Go on.
I'll give it to Brendan Rodgers.
Oh shit! That's actually a bad shout.
That's a very good shout. Brendan Rodgers, the overtraining
top
pass,
4.
Samario.
Right now he's 10th. So
Hold that.
Especially without obviously now he's got the injuries, but he had his full team a lot.
He did.
But is it really a shot of Brendan Rodgers with injuries? Oh my God! Who could have seen that coming?
No.
But now I think Brendan Rodgers, especially for what people are saying, like this is the season they finally get top 4 and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's definitely him. Man, that's Samare. It's just pissing me off, man. Allow that.
All right, Willow. Pastor Nuno is going to have to hold it, I assume.
Well, to be fair, I'm between two. I want to hold smoke to two people. Nuno is one because I need to remind you boys of results. In London,
it's bad.
3-0 against Chelsea.
He was manager of the month for 1 month, and he beat City.
I don't give a shit, Corin. Let me speak. 3-0 against Chelsea. 3-0 against Crystal Palace. 3-1 against Arsenal. This got 3-0 against Ole's Man United, the game before he held 4 to Watford. May I add? This guy was
Ole didn't hold 5 to Watford, or wasn't it 4 or 5?
4. It was 4 to Watford. He held 4 to Watford. It was 4-1. He held 4. This is what Nuno was. And the other person I want to give smoke to is actually Rangnick himself, because too many people are telling me this guy's the Oracle. He's going to change Man United. Like, yes, okay, maybe at board level, but he was never going to do that as manager. They're playing work. I tell you what, I'm going to throw this statement out there, and people are going to think it's mad. They would have finished with more points with Ole if he would have stayed than if Rangnick was there.
Probably facts.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean.
Or Carrick as well. Or Carrick. If Carrick would have stayed there as
Carrick for sure.
Carrick definitely.
I'm with you in Carrick.
Carrick could have got more points this season than Rangnick.
I'm with you.
Like, the guy's already lost the fucking dressing room, for God's sake. Like,
I was watching. I'll tell you what.
You know what? That's a fair point, because you know what? Yeah. When has that happened? Where a man has come in and 3 weeks later he's lost the dressing room after gaining it.
Man has.
No, but like what? This is the worst. Like, the news that's coming out is nothing I've seen before. Like
17 players
are unhappy.
Yeah.
They're complaining about training at 5 p.m.
That team
Like,
is full
what
of
is that?
egos, man. It's full of
You know what it
egos,
is?
bro.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is the United content has literally been
We're
the
gonna
best.
have a United space at the end of the season because we have some special corn for you
Yes.
guys, you bastards.
I'm,
Because you know what?
I want to
There's
get some people on. People are gonna.
no, I got no
I-
one will want to
I want
cut.
to dance with some United creators.
Okay, I want somebody suggest in the comments who we should have on because I got some special corn for
Brent.
United fans that
Brent
you know
this as well.
isn't just the preview, okay? Because we all told them that this was going to happen. It was in the bloody previews, and no one said anything. So I don't blame the boardroom. People always are going back. Oh, it's the Glazers. It's this. It's that. Everybody felt that Manchester United had a legitimate title challenge after their summer, and once again, there was only one fan group that said this summer was horrendous. This summer has been horrendous. So, you know what? Yeah, I've got some special corn. We'll definitely do a United space because you know what? We do that enough on this channel. People comment on it, but they've got some special corn for sure.
Speaking of Goldbridge, right? I went back and watched the Leeds, his Leeds review when they scored 5, just for the sheer like the hope.
Yeah,
just the hope. We're gonna win it all. Oh my god! Oh my god! We're gonna win it all. Sancho's coming into this team, boys. It's gonna be mad. Oh, beautiful, beautiful,
scenes of glorious emotion.
Oh,
that's what we're seeing.
All right,
what's that GIF? My man, my boy. It's blissful. I think they give me endorphins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Let's
back on track.
Back
probably
on track.
like my favorite award. I'll be real because I love the youth, but I think the next award is like my favorite.
I thought we are doing youth.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's like young player of the year. Yeah, for sure. Let's mix it up. Who am I gonna go to? Let's go George first since he's so key. Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah. So I debated here, and if I'm essentially saying which is the team that basically got us. Or rather, if I'm saying that Mikel has really changed expectations for a team, who is the big part of that? For me, it's got to be Bukayo Saka. And I really debated between him and Emile Smith-Rowe. But again, the same argument that I don't really look at output. For me, Bukayo Saka has been the technical leader of this team throughout the entirety of the season. And even when he wasn't getting output, he was double, triple teamed and Michael Jordan out of games. And he still managed to impact games. And for me, it might be a cheapskate, but, look by, just by age, he's probably, he's a serious EPL superstar. Look, I was saying he was world-class, last season. People thought I was crazy. Chris, we were saying the same thing, you know what I mean? And it's like people are finally recognizing it, and he's the second best right winger in the league. Facts. And it's like people weren't accepting that, and then now he is. And I just think from that perspective, he's got to be my young player of the season because he seems like he's taken another level, guys. Like even he was good last season, but to get to the point of now returning to consistent output in addition to being double, triple teamed, guys, I've legit not seen Manchester City do that to a player and still not be able to live with him. Like, and guys, when you deep it, he's one of our our youngest youngsters. It's not just that, yeah, he's been in the league and like I get those things, but like by pure age, this man should not be doing what the hell he is doing. And again, I think Emile has definitely a shout, along with some other youngsters that I really like. By the way, Conor Gallagher definitely has a shout from Palace in terms of some of these up and coming guys. I think he's been phenomenal from what he's doing, similar to like Emile to us. But I think Connor's been more.
As well. Reece has got to be in there.
Reece James?
Reece isn't young enough for me anymore to be.
I don't think he's young enough. Yeah.
You don't think? How old is he? 22. Isn't it under 23s?
Yeah, it's under 23. Well, it's actually under 24, but
it's U24. But I don't know. For me, I consider youngsters kind of at least 21 and below.
Cool.
For me as well, yeah.
But I think Conor Gallagher for me has, even to an extent, and I'll be real, been more important for Palace than Emile has for us. Emile at the start was our best player, consistently for about 2 months, but then he kind of turned a little bit more into output. And after that point, he's kind of been in and out of the squad. I think Conor Gallagher's been more of an ever presence in Palace, doing both output, where he was neck and neck with Emile. At one point, I think Emile went through, but he also has been one of the form players in the league. So Conor Gallagher, I wanted to give him his praise because he deserves it. But back again to the main man, it's got to be Saka. Like, legitimately, I don't believe that there's been a better youngster either through output, but also who has been getting double and triple teamed, targeted by teams, targeted by refs. How many times Palace, Everton? How many times has that
the
boy
Palace
been
kick
murdered?
still pisses me off,
Rodri.
Man.
Like, it happens every bloody game. And you know what? He doesn't care. He goes, screw this. I'm still going to get you a goal and assist on top of your head, but also embarrass you and put it through your legs. Like, I don't know.
Do you remember MacArthur? MacArthur?
That's what I mean. Palace. It was ridiculous.
Jordan.
I
was at the game. I didn't even see it, so I watched it after, and it's still. You won halfway line, chill.
Oh, guys! Also, they did change the rules this year to U21, so makes sense. I mean, I kind of see that as well.
We'll go. I'll go Z. I'm trying to mix it up today. Let's go to Z. What do you think? Young player of the year,
bro. I mean, I'm gonna go with George's choice, man, and it's Saka, man. For me, the way Saka has performed this season, it's like I think for me, he didn't start the Premier League as good as we all hoped, and I think that obviously it goes in combination with how the team started overall. But he's actually taken on some responsibility after Pepe being dropped. He's like shown that he is the main man for the output, for the goals and assists, and it's no surprise with the kind of level of performance that he's had. And I feel like the synergy he's had with Tomiyasu and Odegaard, it's improving game by game, and this is the kind of level of performances that we want to see at the club. For me, against Manchester City, you could see the way the players were looking at Saka. They were scared of him, and that to me is funny, because for me he's 20 years old, and for you to be scared to that level of a 20-year-old player, it shows to me how good this player is, and I think he has a lot of levels to go before he's basically at his potential, and that to me is a scary thing. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I'm just hoping very soon that we get that contract signed off, because I can see £100 million bid coming in or whatnot from Pep Guardiola soon, man. It's just that's the only thing that scares me. Honestly, man, we need to get that contract done now.
Right.
And also, just as a quick aside, I know he won it last year, but he's technically still 21. I think he's turning 22 later this year, so he'll be out. But Phil Foden, as always, deserves a shout. And I think they moved it. Yo-Yo makes a good point that probably Trent is a big reason why they moved it, and people like Rashford as well, who is super young.
Not even just Trent, because last year Ruben Diaz was getting shouts and he was 24.
Exactly. I think there's a reason that they're doing it, is because these people are putting 22. For me, if you've got over 100 appearances, in the Premier League, and you're still under the age of U21, then it's kind of okay. But if you're over U21 with over 100 EPL appearances, very difficult to kind of call yourself a youngster.
Bro, wasn't Raheem Sterling getting Young Player of the Year awards for so many years?
Every year for 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they stopped that.
Yeah. So I'll go to CK and then Willow. CK go first.
Obviously, Conor Gallagher, I have to give a mention. There was a point where he had the most goals of any English player in the Prem. So for me, what he's done for Palace, he's been by far and away their best player this season and their most important player. He rarely injured. He scored some big goals for them versus West Ham and stuff. So yeah, for me, he's probably deserves a shout. Obviously, Saka, Emile. I don't know if the Reece James and Foden don't count them, so they're not in it, are they?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. So then, even if they were in, I'd still say Saka or Emile. I'm gonna say Saka. Emile, I think the numbers don't lie, and he was very integral, and he's still scoring coming off the bench. But I think because he's coming off the bench, what he does in general play is now limited because of the time he's coming on the pitch. So for me, and Saka's importance and change, because he started slow, because everybody who went to the Euros, especially in England, started very slow. So yeah, for me, I'll go Saka or Emil, and I think they're like the two best.
Which one, man?
Oh, Saka. I'll go Saka.
Saka.
Sorry.
Man said Saka or Emil like 5 times. Pick one, man.
Yeah, it's one of them. One of them two. It's one of them.
Yeah. Well,
It's got to be Bukayo Saka, doesn't it? Like, he's just different gravy. This guy, you know, you let him cut in on the left, he scores the goal. Okay, you let him go down the line, which, you know, in football you're meant to. Okay, he'll just go down along pace and then pull it back for someone else to score. Like, the guy is just, you can't defend him, and that's why teams you know, the proof is in the pudding. Every game, 2-3 people are marking this boy. There's a reason for that. How many players do you actually see that as well, where people are marking?
That's what I'm saying, mate.
2-3 players. How many players do you see do that in the Premier League? I can't name that many. I could probably name a couple off the top of my head.
Raheem, when he won it, to be fair, like when he won it, he was attracting 3 or 4 men constantly.
And Bale was as well.
Bale.
Actually, but these are some of the most top talents, especially
when Mesut Ozil joined the club as well. People were tracking him like crazy as well.
It's crazy. The guy in the last 5 games has 4 goals, 2 assists for us as well. Like, the guy is just going to be improving and improving. Like, I've said it, this season he's going to be in team of the season, the Premier League team of the season, 100%.
He better win it. He better win Young Player of the Season. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of bias in some of our awards. Like, we're Arsenal fans, but he's legitimately our first shout in I don't know how many years that rivals can't ignore, in my opinion.
But this is also like the first year that we have players in the Player of the Month. Because for years we haven't had nobody, apart from Aubameyang one time. But apart from that, we've had nobody.
He's
gonna, and we have someone every month consistently. You know?
Arsenal are going to get top 4 this season.
We've even brought Will around. He was I'm here and I'm here to stay.
Have you made the switch? Official application?
Official application. I've signed the thing.
He's signed it.
Top 4 is here. But Arsenal are going to get top 4 this season, and Bukayo Saka is our most important player. So you're looking at that in our 4th place. You know, that's our most important. He's just so good, so good, world class, different gravy. Bukayo Saka is definitely getting Young Player of the Season.
For me, and it's good. It's a good segue because I do have him as my most improved player of the year as well. It's Bukayo Saka. I feel like going into the season, the main debate around the Arsenal fan base, the main debate was Pepe, Saka, which one do you want? I know it's stupid, but like it was. Do you remember how much shit we took to be like, oh no, Pepe, 10 goals, 6 of them in the last 4 games, but 10 goals and Europa League goals. He's padding it. He's done. He's doing it. He's a goal threat. We need him in the team. We can't have Saka there. Saka doesn't produce goals. And now we're looking at. Does anyone even mention, like, apart from a couple people that just can't let him go? No one even mentions Pepe anymore. He is the man.
Now the story is, I've heard from like people that I'll just say Lee Gunner. Like, I heard him say something like, if he was playing in this Saka role, he'd do much better.
No,
that's what he was saying.
Well, that's just conjecture.
Lee needs to worry about getting a proper dentist before he's worrying about playing soccer or football or anything like that. Boy, he's got to worry and lay off the Coca-Cola. It's a little bit struggling.
It's the perfect timing because
everybody.
It's perfect timing because we've got Lee Gunner's biggest fan in the audience. We've got Bavs in, so good timing with that one, George.
Boy.
But for me, I think obviously the lads have all mentioned about the qualities that he's made, the one-on-one dribbling, the improvement in his finishing, everything that has happened this season. And I just can't. I know there are other players that have always said, okay, we're going to be we have improved a lot this year. But for me, you take a kid who's had a very, very tough 2021, obviously with the Euros, the amount of pressure that was on him at the end of last season, winning player of the season, we didn't make it into Europe, and he had a very, very tricky summer. And he came back, he looked tired, he looked very, very lethargic at times. He wasn't getting the goals, and there was every week. Do you remember, George? We were saying the explosion's coming, the explosion's coming. It's building. He's coming. And then when it started, he just hasn't stopped. He's been goals, assists, and
Yeah,
it's mental.
I even said it in the I think it was the Man City preview, where that he needed that big game GA that wasn't Spurs, but the big game GA to fully cement the conversation, because Foden had it when he scored in that 4-1 versus Liverpool in lockdown. I think it was, he scored in the 4-1, and that's when you get your like real flowers. And I think he got it. Like, he got the goal versus City. Obviously, I thought he would, and now he's like undoubtedly the best. The second,
He just feels like he's
the
inevitable.
best right winger in the country right now.
Like he's
Maybe
like,
on current form. I
like-
know,
like-
but
like-
he's
like-
top two.
the point I'm trying to make is that you've taken a kid who
At least you got
at the
him.
beginning of the year who's struggling to forget the fan base, but was struggling to like make waves in games, to now our game was run through him. And you look at all the things, you look at progressive carries, you look at one-on-one statistics in terms of dribbling, you look
I
at
think like he got.
everything.
Do you know what it was? For me, is look, Watford was the bookend.
Yep.
He was okay, and then he was like, yeah, that was the man of the match. I agree with Chris that he needed something else with a big goal or assist, kind of in a big team. But for me, it was when I noticed it was back when he was facing Brandon Williams, and people had been putting him down all the time, right? Like they were tackling him or whatever. And, he's getting up and he's trying to stamp on him. And then afterwards he goes, you know what? Screw you. You pissed me off. Now I'm going to embarrass you. That, for me, when I saw that, I lost my shit. I go, you know what? That's when he took his big moment, I'm a superstar. Because he goes, you know what? You pissed me off. He did the Jordan. You guys see that documentary?
Yeah.
And, he goes, okay, you know what? He made up something in his mind that he did something wrong. It's not made up. He did. He tackled him bad, but it happens. And he goes, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to embarrass you. It's not enough that I want to score a goal, but I want to embarrass you, specifically Brandon Williams. And he stood him up and sat him down. And I was like, that's a bad man. When somebody makes that decision, craziness. Crazy.
It's I just feel like he's taken that step forward in, as George said, the mentality, and also physically and technically.
Yeah.
This is a guy who, at the beginning of the season, people were saying he should be our left back. There were people saying that he's more like,
very egg-shaped.
The only reason, even in the Euros, do you remember, you guys? In the Euros, people were saying the only way Bukayo gets in our team is if he's playing at left back. He's never going to be a right winger. He's just going to be a left back. He's a great left back, but there's Sancho and Foden and all these guys, and he's never going to get in the team. He went back to back at the Euros, putting man of the match performance, and then he's really grown. I think someone said it perfectly. He's grown a lot.
You could see that from this year, mate. Like, he had a growth spurt. Everyone was like,
from the summer to the
he
summer.
looks like a man now.
We were saying
weird.
he was 6
It was
foot
weird.
already. Yeah,
because he was like not the same height, but he was just a bit taller than Sterling. Then
who was bigger though? Emil, I think, grew even more since the summer. I don't know if you guys like. There's distance between him and Saka now. At first, they were kind of. Yeah. Emil was slightly taller. Now there's distance. Like, Emil has grown even throughout the season, in my opinion. But
I think last thing with Saka, I think that there's. I just think the fact that he's undoubtable now is big for him. Like, there's no debate of what he is, of how good he is, of what he can do. And yeah, I just want to reiterate. I don't think you heard me, but he's the best right wing in the country.
Yeah, because Salah's out.
Salah's not in the country.
I know.
So,
don't worry.
I like that,
I got it, CK.
Bush got it as well. That's my guy.
Look, I don't know.
I'll go to George first because he.
So for me,
for it.
Because this guy's got a lot of shit, and again, I think that Bruno Lage is somebody that's been very, very good. But a big reason for that is Ruben Neves. For me, when I look at last season and what people were saying, and of course people are going to say, Nuno Espirito Santos tax or whatever, the Bengali Neves and all that stuff. But it got to the point where I'm looking at him this season and he looks a different player. And it's not just a yard of space. He's the way that he's controlling games, and
what did you just say?
You heard me. They all heard me. But I think Ruben Neves has been just something else this season. I don't ever believe that I felt
That's
very
just been
comfortable
gone,
with
Jesus
him
Christ.
running a game for a big team. And for me, Ruben Neves has to be for his level of improvement, especially from where he was. He was really down in the dumps. Like there were people saying for him to kind of get back out of the league. Like they were legitimately saying that. And so for me, the gap between how bad he was last season to this season, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. So yeah, Ruben Neves is my most improved.
Oh, God.
Most National talking most improved player of the season, and we're gonna go to let's go to Willow, and then we'll go Z, and then CK, and then we'll come back.
Oh, Ruben Neves was on my list. I have a list of most improved players this season because there has been a lot. It's a big category. So Ruben Neves was there. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he had a pretty poor season last year for his accounts, and I think he's come back and been brilliant as usual. Aaron Ramsdale, one of the worst goalkeepers everyone said in the league last season. Everyone hated Aaron Ramsdale last season. They bantered us for signing Aaron Ramsdale. Relegated twice. He'll relegate you. People thought he was going to get us relegated. And arguably the best goalkeeper in the league this season. Best distributor
Arguably
of the ball.
this season.
Mendy has an argument.
No. Fuck Mendy. Mendy don't even have the
What
argument.
Mendy from Chelsea has an argument.
No. You don't have the argument. It's
Mendy's been bad, man.
Chris,
Mendy's
he's
been
had some pretty high profile. No, he's had it on form if you're looking at consistency, but he's had some pretty high profile errors.
Yeah, he has.
he has been bad.
Again, I'm not saying he's the best, and I'm probably the most biased in general, but I'm just saying.
Why is that?
If someone has an argument, it's Mendy.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mendy
He is the best.
Fair
He's
enough.
the closest competitor. I hear that. Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
So okay.
so you
So
Ramsdale in
Spurs,
Bernardo Silva. Again, everyone thought he was out the door at City, and you boys
Fair
are putting him as the best player of the year so far. Gerard Bowen, another great player this season. He's been like amazing. I think he's got 11 assists already for West Ham this season. He's got 4 goals, 11 assists. These are fantasy ones, so they could be penalties won and that as well. So they're not like the proper assist. And also Ogbonna before he got injured for West Ham, really good at centre back this season. But if I had to pick one, George said I was going to say Ruben Neves, but George just said it, so I'll be different. I'm going to go big dick Aaron Ramsdale, my guy, the distributor of the ball, the saver. Ramsdale it is.
we got CK trying to mend defenses, and now we'll go to Z now.
Retweet.
George said retweet. I like that. Go on, Z.
This is me next, yeah.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Odegaard. I know how much George. I don't know if he dislikes him or not, but just putting it out there. I had a dislike for Odegaard when he signed for Arsenal as well, and I didn't think like he would pull the kind of level of performances that he has done so far. And I think ever since that Crystal Palace game, he was dropped, and I think when Lacazette took his place in the team, he probably got a bit of a.
Can you be most improved for about a month and a half or 8
No,
weeks of form?
No, I think generally since after the Crystal Palace game, after his comeback, I think he has been generally our best attacking midfielder in the team, and I generally think that. I feel like he's created a kind of synergy with Saka and Tomiyasu, where I feel like that is the partnership that has to be there for the rest of the season. And I know CK might disagree and say he probably wants Smith Rowe there, but I feel like that we have to keep the team the way it is. I feel like it's working perfectly. He's had a very good performance against Manchester City as well, which shows that he can do it against the top teams. And I feel like overall he's improved so much, because I feel like the jump from how he performed against Palace to how he is now, it's a massive jump. So you could say probably the time scale.
You don't think Martinelli's made more of a jump than Odegaard?
No, I mean I've seen those kind of performances from Martinelli before, though. The thing is not something that I'm not surprised at his level of performances. I think we know how good Martinelli can be, but the thing is our fans were generally down in the dumps with someone like Odegaard. I've seen tweets something of people giving up on Odegaard, saying we should sell him and we should bring in a whole new attacking central midfielder in. Smith Rowe should start ahead of him all the time. Blah blah blah. And I feel like now people are saying, "Oh crap, I'm wrong on Odegaard. Wow, we didn't see that kind of level of performance from Odegaard." And I think that's a credit to Odegaard's performances and how he's been, how much he's improved this season, because he's actually managed to turn his biggest haters into actually believers of him. And I think that's a credit to how he's been this season. And I can see CK, obviously, not agreeing with me, but I feel like, you know what, it's
I assume people would call me one of his biggest haters. Like with me,
yeah.
I think he's been good, but I think to give him the most improved in the whole Premier League after performing in just
8
December
weeks.
is mad. So.
I mean, it's a fair enough argument as well. I mean, there are probably players that have improved, like Ruben Neves, over the course of the season. But the thing is, I only watch Arsenal most of the time, so it's basically I'm very Arsenal biased, and I like I said, I've been really enjoying watching Odegaard play, and I hope he continues, man, because it helps all of us, regardless of the kind of viewpoint we have on Odegaard or not. If he performs good, it's the best because look, we get the points. So yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Right, CK.
Well, for me, it's definitely not Odegaard. Obviously, I have to give Rodri a shout because I think he's been actually very good, very consistent, very important. I don't like him, so I won't give it to him because I think he's a prick.
Why not? He's been ridiculous.
That is so
I hate that
shit.
one. It's the
Bloody
worst one.
hell.
It's the worst one Curran does. I hate it.
Anyway, I don't like him, so I'm not giving it to him. Obviously for Mush, I'll give Ruben Neves a big shout because obviously we were linked to him in the summer and a lot of people didn't want him, including me. I think he's taken up a level in general play, apart from just the ball striking and the crazy volleys and the long shots that he's always scored.
Off the ball, mate. He could legitimately be an anchor, something I didn't think he
Yeah,
could be.
I think in general play, like his general play, I think there's been a big step up. Maybe a change in system has helped him a bit, but I think he's very much improved. Obviously, Ramsdale, from being the worst, looked at as the worst keeper in the league to the best keeper in the league, deserves a big mention. And I'll give it to Ruben Neves. I think I don't particularly like him, but I'll give it to Ruben Neves. I can't give it to Rodri though; he's a prick.
Mush, you heard him, Ruben Neves. Most improved.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I just want to clarify. It doesn't mean I want a deep line playmaker. In fact, no. I want to mention Gabriel as well because I think second half of the season he was bad. I think so. Yeah, I'll give him a mention.
COVID did affect him badly.
It
I
did.
think he was one of those guys that COVID really took a hit.
Guys, I know it's not, and everyone's gonna think it's because I love him, but Aubameyang deserves a shout for the level of technique change of what he's done. People are gonna say no because of the composure in front of goal, but I've not seen that level of technical jump from anyone in our team, and he's the most secure and the best presser, even when you look at some of the stats. And
that's by age, though.
What do you mean by age? He's been consistently one of the worst pressers ever.
Eddie, do you think Eddie?
Eddie, well, I think Gabriel, the center back, made more of a jump than Eddie. I've always felt Eddie was very good. Maybe that's because of perception and what other people felt as different. But I felt Eddie has always been very, very good. But for me, Gabriel made more of a technical improvement than Eddie. Eddie was a lot more secure in using his body, but Gabriel has been a lot better technically from a jump. His gait, his receiving, his between the line passes on the floor, crazy jumps.
Right. Well,
what's yours?
I just want to. Let's just.
I said Ruben Neves a while ago.
No, Curran. I wasn't talking to you.
No.
I said Saka.
Yeah, he said Saka. He did the first
I
one.
said Saka. So I did the first
just
one.
thinking Saka.
I went from young player and then slid straight into improved player.
Yeah.
Very
That transition,
smooth.
It was smooth.
But yeah, we got goal of the season as well, and I'll start off. There's a couple, but I've heard because we talked about it earlier. I think me, George, CK, I think Willow was there as well. We talked about it earlier, and I kind of know where these guys are going to go. I'm going to go with a different one. I think that Tielemans' pile drive against Brentford was mad. Do you guys remember that? The one where he
Top
literally
right.
he just stuck his foot in it and it went
He was in space.
bang.
That was the
It
thing
was
for me.
space, but the cleanness of that hit was it was an amazing hit. And I mean, Greenwood versus Leicester's another one I think was quite nice. Obviously, the one the guys will say is the obvious one, but I do want to give a shout out to Yuri because he may be a fat bastard, but he can hit a ball. So
Wow.
let's I'll go to CK first. I know what
No,
he's
don't go to
thinking.
me. I don't know.
Do you know? I thought you knew already.
No, I
I'll
think
go. I know.
obviously
I
the
got it.
Salah
Yeah, I
one,
know you know.
obviously
George, you go then. George,
Yeah.
CK, Willow, then CK.
I think there really isn't much debate to this one. It's got to be the Mohamed Salah solo goal against City. Like that was,
I knew you were gonna pick.
it was bloody incredible. I
was
mean,
incredible.
and you know, for me, and against the level of opposition, I think that there have been like really good team goals. But if we're talking about goal of the season, I think for me, I look at individual play a little bit more. Maybe that's biased, but I do look at that, and I think what he did to who he did it to was the most impressive. So yeah, Salah solo goal against City is mine.
Willow, you got one,
Yeah.
or because I know you
Yeah,
were
no, that's
nervous
literally-
earlier.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, yeah, and I said with George, we were talking. I completely agree. The Salah goal, you got to think about it. It's the best defense in the league. Let's be honest, like best team in the world, and he's just scored that against them. He's just made all their players look that silly, and the composure as well, the absolute composure he had to like wait it out, and then like hit it because he could have hit it on multiple points, but he kept on carrying on until he got to the perfect spot. That's why he's the best player in the world. It's just insane. They're Messi type goals. You've seen Lionel score over the years. He's just what a player.
Well, no. I'm gonna change mine for the sheer the anticipation of the goal. It's got to be Partey versus Palace. The guy has not scored. It was getting to the point where it was just like, is this guy ever gonna? Now, obviously, I would say Salah versus, but Partey versus Palace. I was there. The relief in that entire stadium was palpable, and I called it before. That day, I remember I called it before. I was like, he's definitely scoring today. I don't know if it was going to be a screamer or whatever, but just from pure emotion alone, that goal was amazing. Obviously, the Lacazette one, obviously as well, but the Partey one was it was a thing. But we'll go on.
Can we shout out Saka's goal against Norwich as well on him just sitting down Brandon Williams like a little bitch and just putting it into the bottom? It was beautiful.
You're right. You're right, Mush. It is versus Villa. Thank you very much. No, it was Palace. It was Palace. Mush, what are you talking about?
No, it wasn't. It was Villa.
It wasn't.
It was Villa. It was Villa. Yeah. It was Villa. It was Villa. Yeah. No, you are right. It was Villa. Yeah. Thank you. Z.
I think my favorite goal of the season was probably the goal Lacazette scored against Southampton. I mean, those are the kind of goals that that cheers me up. I mean, the last goal that we scored like that, well, from the top of my head, was probably with that kind of atmosphere, was probably the goal against Leicester that Aubameyang scored. And I think those are the goals like I love. I love watching when we play out from the back and doing it at such a high technical level. I mean, if you go watch that goal back, like every commentator from each different channel was saying, "Oh my God, they're going to lose the ball. They're going to lose the ball." And in the end, we didn't lose the ball. We ended up scoring, and that's purely down to the way we play, and just a credit to the team for perfecting that kind of style of playing out from the back. Honestly, I think that is for me is the best goal of the season for me so far.
Right, CK, you got one?
I think I'll give some different mentions. I think obviously Aubameyang versus Spurs.
Very good goal.
Odegaard versus Burnley.
Great free kick.
Martinelli versus Newcastle, I think, was a very good goal.
Lovely run.
I'll probably give it to Salah versus City. I think obviously versus City, versus City, but they were like Rodri is shit defensively, so I can't blame him for going past him. I think it's just Salah, to be fair. That goal versus
a lovely goal
versus City, or the week after versus Watford. Like one of them.
Yeah. I don't think no one's mentioned that. It was a very good goal. Took it
So,
from,
yeah,
the,
fair
from the
enough.
from the wing, just ran with it, cut inside, lovely goal.
Or actually, pure bias, nothing else. Pure bias. I'll give it for Emil versus West Ham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That goal
very,
was
good
crazy for me in the stadium.
yeah.
But yeah,
No, I
pure,
understand that. I understand that.
pure
All right,
bias.
I'm
goal.
gonna
Ronaldo v Watford as well.
we're gonna finish. We're on the last one, but I'm gonna add a little caveat as well. So, it's signing of the season, the last one, but I want to add in flop of the season. That
Oh, I love
who
that.
has gone the best signing and the worst signing. And I'll go first because I haven't told the
You
guys
go
about this
after me.
before. Yeah, you go after me, CK.
Yeah.
So for me, the signing of the season is Aaron Ramsdale. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's even it's an option. I don't think you can attain anything else. The man has, I think, what is it, 9 or 10 clean sheets already in the Premier League. He's caught up to Mendy and Allison and these guys, and he didn't play the first 3 games of the season, and some of them did get their clean sheets in the first 3 games of the season. So the way he's picked up the morale of the team, just culturally, the changes in the dressing room that I feel like he has been a leader in, the way that he goes around in the entire pitch and claps the entire stadium, the way that he shithouses away fans, the way he gets behind the defense and organizes and really puts the defense on lock. He is the one that when he came in and he's high-fiving Tommy, he's chest bumping Ben White, he's getting Gabriel pumped up, he's basically trying to headbutt Kieran. Like he's the one he controls that defense. He's the leader in that defense. Obviously, Gabriel is the vocal leader on the defense and the technical leader in the back line. But really, I really feel like the signing of the season has to be Ramsdale. The worst signing for me, it's a couple. You could put Lukaku in. Could put.
It's clear for me. It's him.
Could be. I'm gonna.
It could be Grealish. Could put Grealish up.
No,
No, it's not going to be. It's not Grealish. For me, it is.
Bastard.
It is the
up top for Chelsea is the worst signing of the season at £100 million. The tractor, the Timberlands that were on that man to come in and to come in doing that to a club. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go in. No, screw that. You came in. No, sorry. I'm sorry. No, this guy's really pissed me off because he's come in here like Billy Big Bollocks, like he's actually something, and he's demanding a kind of a Messi level treatment with the fact that he scored less than 10 Premier League goals. Sit down, relax yourself. Who do you think you are? How would you come in? And the way he handled that situation for me has been absolutely horrendous. And combined with the fee, £100 million, you are bought to win the league or at least challenge. And you have not been able to even sustain a challenge for more than 4 months. Not only are you going to sit there and act the way that you do after you were injured for 2 months, you're going to sit there and do that and embarrass the team that gave you a chance. No, screw that. No, Lukaku is absolutely the flop of the season, and I'm not hearing any other shouts. £100 million, less than 10 Premier League goals? Come on, guys. Ridiculous. Sorry, Curran, go.
Ronaldo. It's got to be Ronaldo for me. It's like we know what it is.
I'm not sure.
If we're looking, like, I'll use your argument, George. Right? You interviewed 10 Premier League fans. Take any club, Brighton, Brentford, Aston Villa. The smaller clubs, and you really look at them and you say, okay, who do you think is the best signing of this window? A lot of them go, oh, Ronaldo's going to take them to a title. He is Ronaldo. He is the first or second best player in the world. He is really, really good. He's the one. And ever since he came into that team, you could see he was not built for that team, and he thought that he could come in and just do it, and everything's gonna be amazing. And what has happened? They're not even in the top 4 race. I'll be real. They're not in this race. It is us and Spurs at this moment in time. And when Spurs get sunned by us without Son, and they get sunned by Chelsea without Son, and they fall even further behind in the race, it's just not on. You can't look at a title challenger. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying whenever United are brought up, title challengers Man United are not in a top 4 race, and relegation threats in Arsenal are. Okay, so for me, it's got to be Ronaldo, and I'm not going to say Sancho because I feel bad for the kid. He was bought. He was A. He wasn't fit at the start of the season. B. Like the link up. Like who is he meant to link up with? Shaw's not been at himself. Who's going to link up with Wan-Bissaka? He's going to link up. He's a combo winger who plays well in combination play, and you're putting him with Wan-Bissaka. You must be crazy, man. I don't like. Just give him. Leave him alone. Stop it. This is disgusting. Stop wasting talent for no reason. So for me, it's got to be. It's either one of the three Man United signings. It's either Conference League Varane, it's either CR Kelly, or it's what's his name?
Varane.
No, I've said Conference League Varane. Well, it's Sancho, but I can't put Sancho there. It's one of the three of them, and for me, it's Ronaldo. CK, signing and flop.
I think what's it called? Obviously, at the start of the season, I thought Sancho would get a lot of blame, and he did. And I expected the fallout to be on him. Now Ronaldo is getting a lot of it. I think best Ramsdale probably gets it for me. I think worst, obviously Lukaku, 97.5 million. I think he has 6 Premier League goals. He's already made an apology to his team. So I think he deserves a big mention. I think.
Can I just mention one more person? Saul. Saul has to be in there as well. Sorry, but continue. Sorry,
he's
Saul
alone.
has to be in there as well.
He was alone. Saul, like everybody hates him now. For Chelsea and non-Chelsea, I thought Saul would flop. So I'm really not sure. I think if I was like playing
Bush is saying Emerson. I don't really.
Emerson, I think, deserves a big shout because he's been poor for Spurs, very poor.
He's been royally shit. I'll be real.
Shut up. For now, I'll give it to Lukaku, but come back to me.
Zeke, signing flop.
Signing of the season, I think.
Wait. Sorry to cut you off. I'll change my signing because I think a lot of people will give it to Ramsdale. I'll give it to Emmanuel Dennis.
No,
Yeah.
Don't make me.
I knew Willow was gonna go because the thing is,
Oh,
I had Dennis, but I knew Willow would do it because of FPL. I knew he would. I knew he'd go for Dennis.
No, you know why?
No.
No. I'm not having this bullshit because we were having this discussion and I was citing Emmanuel Dennis before, but I've got somebody else anyways, so it's fine.
Shut up, mate.
So do I.
Both of you. Z. Signing
of the season, I think it has to go to Tomiyasu. I mean, when Tomiyasu signed, I was really excited just purely based on the fact that it would completely change our style of playing in terms of playing out from the back. Now he can pass inside and he can pass on the outside. He can overlap at times, but the main factor for him is he's very solid defensively, and that's what he's actually added to our team. Defensive solidity, like when people trying to attack down his side, you just know unless you're a very, very good technical winger, you ain't getting past him. And I've said it to so many people that if we are due to get in a overlapping right back in the future, he has to be as good as defending as Tomiyasu. Otherwise, I don't want it, man. Because I really just really admire that defensive solidity that we get with Tomiyasu on the right, and I feel like he's for me he's been our best signing for Arsenal, anyways, and overall signing of the season. I think people underrated his signing when he joined. People said, "Oh, he was this guy from Bologna. He's going to be some flop." Called him tiramisu.
I tried.
Well, yeah, so people had so many different names for him. Look, I'm just glad he's getting his flowers and people are actually recognizing him as one of the top right backs in the league. And I think the flop of the season, it has to be Lukaku, man. It makes me laugh because of the way just Chelsea play when he's in the team. They completely have to change the way they play just purely because of his presence. And you know what, you can see in Tuchel's face, he just doesn't like Lukaku. He just doesn't like playing with him. It just ruins the fluidity of that Chelsea team. You can just see how Chelsea played without him. They're just a better team. And I'm sorry, for £100 million, I mean, at the start of the season when we had the season preview, I said Lukaku wouldn't add that much to the Chelsea team, and I'm glad that I'm getting proven right, because he's absolutely arse, man. He's rubbish. Sorry, he has to be flop of the season so far for me.
Willow, because I know you've already said Dennis, so explain why, mate.
So, I mean, let me do some honourable mentions as well. Wolves keeper Sarr, what a keeper! That's the person when I was talking about, he has revolutionised Wolves as well.
He got buried.
I know, to be fair, but he's so good. He's been so good. His distribution's been good this season.
Very good shot.
I think he's got a high, like one of the highest save percentages now as well. I swear it's like 80%. It's something crazy. Like he's got some higher save percentage as well.
Even has 8 clean sheets.
8 clean sheets. The guy is insane. Like he's been honestly very, very, very good this season. So he's up there with me, with Aaron Ramsdale, with Dennis, Conor Gallagher. We talked about him earlier for young player this season. What a loan move it's been for him. But he'd be Chelsea's best bloody. Would he? He'd be Chelsea's top goal scorer this season in the league. Or he must be up there with it.
I think he'd be joint with Mount.
Would he be joint with Mount? Yeah, he'd be joint with Mount, and he's stat padded against Norwich. So there you go.
When diabetes.
Yeah,
we have got something to talk about.
Yeah,
okay.
Listen, if we are mentioning Buendia, we have to mention Somare. It's only fair.
No. We're talking about the guy that we bought a Finnish Philip Coutinho for to replace right now. The guy that was going to replace what? Emil Smith Rowe? No. I am here for it. When diabetes, answer for your crimes.
Dean Smith Tax.
What did you say, Tax?
I said Dean Smith Tax.
He's been rubbish after him.
But he hasn't played under Stevie. How much has he played under Stevie?
I mean, he's been good, actually. He actually had a really good assist his last game.
He had an assist and then he fell off in the game.
But he had good assists, so that's what it matters for me, man.
I'm not surprised.
I want to give a big shout out as well to Cornet. Like Burnley are probably one of the most racist places, and look what he's done. He's actually
he didn't even know what in his interview. He didn't even know who Burnley were. He just said, "I wanted to come to the Premier League."
I want to shout out a couple of players that aren't going to get shouts. So Tino Livramento is one, and I think Mark Guay is another one. I think
that's what I was about to say, Corey.
Oh, shit.
I was still on it, bro. I was about to say, Guay. He's been quality at centre back.
He's been very quality. He's been much.
Especially if you say like Paddy's 4-3-3 formation, where they're so exposed at times. He's been quality.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know you were going to say it, but
Vieira has had a lot of injuries, to be fair.
And also, it's so funny. Have you seen Burnley fans for the first time be like, "Oh, AFCON, no, AFCON."
Ivory Coast. Fans, right?
Have you ever seen that in your life?
One black player.
Of all people, fucking Burnley are gonna go sit there and be like Ivory Coast stands.
One black player in their history.
Oh, I'm killing myself.
Worst player. Yeah, George. To be fair, George put too good of a case. A man's already done an apology video, for fuck's sake. Like Lukaku's just—it's not great, is it? It's not great. But shout outs to all of Man U signings. Not one of them. I just want to shout them all out. They've all been shit.
I knew Sancho would be.
Does Ragnick count?
Ragnick, yeah, you put him in there, throw him in there. Why not?
Why not?
If it's
the signing of the season, George.
Yeah, there's a lot, to be fair. I was talked about Emmanuel Dennis kind of previously. He's been a serious player. I think. Look, I was debating between Tomiyasu and Ramsdale. And I just think for the crap that I've been given about Aaron Ramsdale, and purely because of that, probably him. But I wanted to go on record was even at the beginning of the summer, I said at the end of our transfer window, Tomiyasu would prove price to quality to be the best signing, not just of our window, but period. And without the banter, because I think Aaron Ramsdale's been immense, but I think for £30 million, you are a starting keeper. I think he's already, done much better, and there's a lot of perception.
I just want to say something, George.
But
it's 30 mil after bonuses.
Yeah, sure, but I include them.
But
Tomiyasu,
it annoys me to no end when people always say, "Oh, it's 30." It's not 30 million. It's 24. It's 24, and then we get bonuses.
Yeah, but he was bought. Let's be real. Everyone said backup, but he was bought with the intention to be a starting goalkeeper.
Yeah, but it's not 30. It's
didn't.
not 30 though.
It will
Whatever
be.
you want to say.
It will
20
be, but like
24.
this is the same argument as Willow's bonus argument from the beginning of the
Oh,
beginning
you
of the
know what?
episode.
Yeah, thank you, Corin.
So either it's
Sure.
either
24. You can go 24 or 30.
24. Thank you.
But whatever you'd like to choose, regardless, he was bought for like a starting goalkeeper, and Tomiyasu wasn't bought to be that. We knew he would because of our quality of right back was so shit. But at 17 million pounds, am I adding on add-ons? Just want to be sure. No, was it base? Okay,
Base.
all right. So for 17 million pounds, immense. I've not really seen him beat except for Cucurella. I'm really deeping it.
Yeah, it was Cucurella. Yeah,
That's a strange one as well.
that was
Right,
so
the
strange.
ball, and I think for that one I don't really blame because that was the Partey Island game, which was fun. But it's probably the worst that we've played all season. But beyond that, mate, like to come into the league and how many Japanese players? Because look, there's a lot of racism. I don't want to get political, but there's a lot of Southeast kind of Asian and just Asian general racism about. And I just don't remember the last time an import from that community has come in and lit it up the way he has. He is absolutely a superstar signing because there's been players that have come in and had little flashes in the pans. But guys, the catalog of wide forwards that he has in his pocket is unrivaled. People are saying Timo Livramento, but has Timo Livramento stood up to as many tough challenges as Tomiyasu? I don't know if that's true. Legitimately, Cucurella is the only one he struggled against. We're talking Sterling. We're talking Antonio. We're talking Ismail Assar. He has passed it with flying colors. And guys, not only that, but if you've noticed, I saw his average position map. I was just looking at some stuff. He has been going up. Park Ji-young, mate, I don't know if Park Ji-young is going to be considered the best strikers, in the league. He had some
for a Japanese player who did well. Shinji Okazaki won the Premier League.
Yeah, I want to also.
He's done okay. Tomiyasu legitimately is among the top five right backs in the Premier League. And when's the last time a Serie A export has done well in the Premier League? Not only that, like when you look at all the narratives that have come from that signing, it's been very, very rare. And so for me, I just think that he's been immense. He's going to come also provide center back depth. The guy is ambidextrous to no ends. There's very little that he can't do. And for me, for 17 million pounds, price to quality, I don't think that there's been a better right back that's been bought, but also I don't know if there's been a better signing that's been bought for the quality that he's shown.
I understand. I can get that.
But again, just for banter, because of how much shit I got, Ramsdale's going to have a shout always. But,
I want to do a couple of honorable mentions because there are a couple of players. I want to mention Ben White, who is better than Varane. Well done, George. I want to also shout out someone by the name of, let's have a think. I don't know. The thing is, it's hard with Connor. I understand Connor in terms of Gallagher. I want to. There's a couple of names that are Emmanuel Dennis, Ismail Assar. I think these are all.
Saul's been there for a while.
Saul's been at Watford, mate.
So he's been
Was he not? Did he not come back? Wasn't he not on loan before? And then they.
No, they had him last season.
Wasn't it a confirmed loan?
No.
Okay, no.
They've had him for 3 years, but he didn't go on loan last year.
I thought he was confirmed this. No, I'm getting mixed up with someone else. Dennis, I think Gallagher, White, all of our signings really. Even Lokonga when he came in. He's done well. Like there's been a lot of great signings from Arsenal.
Not all of them though. Not all of them.
When's the last time that a team's gone 6 for 6 generally? And even though I don't like Odegaard, everyone says that I have an agenda. The fact is he's done well.
I still think
when's the last time that a team's gone 6 for 6?
It's up there. It's definitely up there. I don't think it beats.
No, I don't think it's been done.
You know what? It's too prematurely to say though. That's the thing I'll say. I want to wait.
It's a mid-season review.
Yeah,
it's not a full season review.
True.
I can't predict the future, but
has anyone got some? Anyone got any players or anyone they want to shout out?
Because Tottenham was the only time that they did the absolute scattergun, and most of them were shit.
Can I shout out Harry Kane? Thank you for having the season you've had so far. I'd like to shout that out.
He's
Anyone
completely
else?
more- he's
Shout
completely
out?
He's
more-
more of a shout than people have given credit for, by the way. The
Yeah.
amount that he is stagnated, you know,
Right,
I have my Lukaku agenda, but just factually, the amount that he's stagnated, it's more than people think.
Harry Kane.
I
Harry
I
Kane
still
has completed more
think that,
dribbles
that
than-
Chelsea only bought Saul so his fans could say that his last name.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
Saul's a
oh,
great
God.
shout, you
Oh,
know.
no.
He's had one game, legitimately.
And it was against
Like,
Tottenham.
And I was against
Wow.
Tottenham. So,
Yeah.
Oh, he's just shit. He doesn't even have a position.
He's horrible. He's horrible. And we said it, too.
We did
Yeah.
say it.
Monstar, I've got something for you, boy. My
Yeah.
boy. Somebody was defending Saul. My God, hasn't
I'm
watched him.
going to
last
say it.
18
I'm
months.
going to say it again. I think that if you look at Varane, we did say his injury record was there to be seen, and he hasn't played the games, and people were just saying.
Actually, let's ask anybody that's still here that remembers that pod with the prediction. Is it fair? I know everyone was like, "How are we going to determine if Varane has been worse than Ben White?" Is there anybody that disagrees? Maybe in the comments you can do that as we look to wrap up, because we've been doing an hour 40. Do we have another category going?
I don't think so. But yeah,
No, we don't.
shout out to the managers though, because like there's a couple of them have really improved our season. Talking Santo, I'm talking Ollie, I'm talking Brendan Rodgers, I'm talking Dean Smith. Villa fans, your project isn't Champions League.
S is not bad there. You know, Willock. I love the guy and I love the potential, but that's not a bad shout for flop of the season, especially when he was coming back. He was never going to do the goal scoring run that he did, last season. But regardless, the expectations that they had, crazy for sure. I had a question for you guys if you're searching up, just to kind of round it off. Essentially, given how we've performed to date, where do you legitimately see Arsenal going? Let's keep it away from transfers because we'll do that, in another space. But where do you see Arsenal ending up kind of on the season? We're halfway through. Like, where legitimately do you guys see us? Maybe just to do that midpoint roundup, because in the end,
I'll go first because CK is going to like it. Third in the Carabao Cup. I do think the third is on. I don't know if we'll do it. I do think it's definitely on, because if you look at Chelsea, and if they do not replace, if they don't get Luka Dean, they're in this top four race. Ben Chilwell is so crucial to them, because without Reece James as well.
I don't know, mate. Tuchel's employed a 4-2-2-2 better than Ragnick has his whole career.
He has. But the point is, and the other point is with Kante's continuous drop-offs, because we were discussing it earlier, weren't we, CK? We were saying earlier.
You always get that. For me, Kante
just continue. He will drop games. He will drop games. Like, he will not be there the entire time. I think he'll get injured again and again. So if either one of him or Kovacic, because Kovacic, people forget that Kovacic is the top progressive ball carrier. Like, look at full ref. He's literally the best in the top 5 leagues, and just carrying the ball. He's a ridiculous carrier of the ball. And if you don't have one of those two, because I will say it again, Jorginho is not a good football player. If you do not have one of those two with him, it's just I don't see it. I don't see them just being that team where it's just third. Okay, cool. We're not in the title race. We're not in the top 4 race. We're just third, and it's cool. It's calm. They're gonna be around, so I can see third, and I do think we'll get the Carabobbins. Carabobbins is on.
Just to switch it up, because I know Chris will echo a lot of what Curran said. I think I got to be fair to my predictions at the start of the season, and every time me and Chris have talked about it, we've been opposite in terms of the cups. We both think that we're gonna do a cup. I just think that we do the FA Cup, and we don't do the Carabao Cup. But I still think we get fourth. I'm not on this third train. I think that despite what we will do, and I said it kind of in the Man City previews, I think that Chelsea will struggle just because of the teams that they're facing, and we'll probably go third. I'll have to hear it from Christina for a little bit, but then by February, March, it's just
I'll have to hear
resume.
it from him as well.
Yeah, but this is like my prediction. Like, it's gonna switch and be quite clear in the end that Chelsea will go ahead, and that's just because I think they need more injuries personally. They still have insane depth. And the way that Tuchel responded, we all said that he would switch to a back four, but one thing that we have to give credit for, because we always said, what will the response be? It's been immense. That system against Tottenham, look, I know it's Tottenham and their shit, but what he was doing was insane.
The principles are
good.
good.
The principles
are good. Yeah.
It's not just good; they were phenomenal. They were. You have to hold up your hands.
I can't comment on that. I didn't watch the game.
He was phenomenal.
One of the most dominating.
It was always something, by the way, that like Tuchel was always going to move towards that back four system. It's what he preferred too. Like when he first came to Chelsea, that's what I thought he would do. But because of the damage, he had to chill with the three at the back. But it's been immense. And so, yeah, no, I don't think there's a way that we catch Chelsea this season just because of absolute squad quality. And even if we were to get, a Dusan Vlahovic and we add something like that, I still don't think that we have enough just squad quality wise, to compete with Chelsea. But that's not a slide on us. I still see fourth. But instead of the Carabao Cup, I see us winning the FA Cup. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll go.
Willow, because I know, because Seiko is basically going to be saying what I said, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Ooh. Well, go on then.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Let Willow go, but I'm not.
Go on, Willow.
Okay, I think if I'm talking about Arsenal in the future, I think next year we win the Champions League. I'll say it from now. I think this season, I'm not sure about the FA Cup.
Man.
I'm not sure about the FA Cup because I haven't seen anything about it. So I haven't said we won't win it, but I think we'll win the Carabao. I've always felt we win it for the first time.
I can't with you always.
I'm not sure I even want to go to the final because it just adds extra congestion in the end of February. But like our game versus Liverpool is gonna have to be changed anyways because one of us is going to the final. But I think we'll win the Carabao Cup and then finish third. I've always had a feeling we'll finish third.
Wait, you changed it though because you had a feeling about third.
Don't cut me off.
No, you had a feeling about third, but you said that your head always said fourth. Is it changed?
I've always had a feeling we're going to finish first, and as the season progressed, it became more like logical thought than feeling.
Can I say your line? Can I please say your line?
What's my line?
We're gonna finish in the top four, and it's not gonna be even.
Yeah, it's gonna be a negative number, and obviously Pep took the other negative number, so there's only one left. And I said negative odd number. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Pep took the other odd number. Anyways, I think we'll finish third. I think Liverpool and Chelsea have obviously made it everyone else in a race for a top two. I think they've both been kind of inconsistent recently and not been as dominant as they were early on in the season. I think Chelsea lacked some potency up top and they lost their two biggest goal threats in Chilwell and Reece James, forcing them to change system. Obviously, Tuchel's always loved the 4-2-2 since Mainz, so I never had doubt that he'd implement that. I didn't think it'd be as great as you guys are saying it was, but I haven't watched the game, so I can't comment on it. I think the signings they bring in will be key, just to give them more stability. I think.
Should we do a prediction at the end of the transfer window as well, just to be sure? Because I don't know if every team is going to do what they want. So, for example, Chelsea and United should really dip in the market, and I don't think United do. For example,
Chelsea want Digne and Dest, and if they get both of them, then obviously they're going to be a better team for what they have right now than Alonso and Aspilicueta at right back and left back. But if they don't get them and then have to suffer for, because Chilwell I don't think comes back
this season.
Come back this season, and
he does not.
It's already been confirmed though. James could.
James is having surgery, so he's out for that 8 to 10
He could come in for the run-in. James, he's more likely than Chilwell.
He's coming back in like the end of Feb, maybe March. So I feel like Chelsea do need that left back or full back just to continue the dynamics on the wing. I think there'll be a big period where we go above them, and I think it will go down to the end of the season. I don't like that, and I think Chelsea versus United in the 37th game will be key for me
for third,
just for the points. Yeah, for third.
By the way, I'm just going to say this before I go to Willow. I don't think we go to the last day with top 4. I think we secure it pretty with a couple of games left, and then either it's just.
I think so too, but I don't think 4th and 3rd are as close as you guys think.
Yeah, I just don't like the narrative that George keeps trying to force that. I didn't believe it. I did.
You didn't.
You didn't.
I did.
You said it was for vibes.
I did.
Anyway, Willow, come on. We've got 2 fourths a third. We've got 2 fourths a third. We've gone from 5th to 4th with Willow. So let's think.
Yeah, so we got a 4th place.
Signed paper. He went to the 4th crowd, so I hope that's it.
That's it. 4th place. I also think the Carling Cup. I think we smack Liverpool around because I don't think they've got their team for it, and I'm hoping we play Chelsea in the final because I do not want to play Tottenham in the final.
I think we'll play Chelsea in the final.
Yeah, so it'll be Chelsea in the final because I don't think Tottenham turn it around either now. I'll tell you what, CK stole my thunder, with saying I was going to say I'll back Arteta's 3-year plan of getting that Champions League.
Stole your thunder.
Yeah,
I've been saying that
I was going to say it, bro.
For so long.
I didn't think you were going to say it, so yeah. 2023, bro. Champions League.
You guys, man.
Right, George?
The Champions League will happen the year after. I don't agree that it'll be.
That's what I said as well. 2024.
Nah, fuck it. We excel.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is with Champions League. It could very well happen because of the nature of a knockout competition.
No, I can repeat right now. There's zero chance, even with my dream window, for me, that we get the Champions League next year.
He's wrong.
It could happen, but like
wrong about the league.
I think we'd make a deep run next year. I think we make a quarters or a semi.
Okay, that's fine, but it's very different from winning.
No, but that's my. I'm trying to play devil's advocate and see their argument.
Aaron Ramsdale is scoring the winning penalty of the Champions League.
No, you know what? It needs to be flipping Bukayo Saka after the shit that he got, and it'll be after he's a World Cup champion.
Martinelli will never let him take 5th.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
What's that?
We're winning it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it
Wembley next year? No, we're winning it. We're winning it. Screw it. We're winning it. No. It's cool.
Oh,
it's cool.
Z, help me out, bro. Come on. I can't believe I'm the only one.
I'd rather a title challenge, man. I think that's more realistic.
I think we get a deep
Everybody would rather win the.
You'd rather
No, I wouldn't rather win the league.
We need to win the Champions League. I'll be real.
No. I just can't see.
No, I would. I would right now because for me, I've always felt that the league is the best marker for dominance and consistency. I want that just for this team because it shows that they've gone more than just a cup. I've seen us go far in a cup.
No, but I think for them to win the Champions League would be I think for them to win the Champions League would be a bigger narrative. Like, finally, Arsenal win the Champions League.
There's a bigger narrative, but I don't place that on the team. I'll be honest.
Obviously
I don't.
Not.
Look,
I'll put it easily. Head league, but heart is Champions League.
Because what do people say to us after this? Like, oh yeah, I'm on Champions League. What do they say after that? Like Chelsea fans talk. Shut the fuck up. You're the smallest.
Honestly, I don't hear it because they don't have a trophy hall that's anywhere near ours. So I just don't even entertain it.
But when you win the Champions League, like you've seen it with Chelsea fans the past 6 months.
I want to put one of those
stars
up next to my
Yeah, see, I read it's 2024. It's when I think that we win.
That's what I'm saying. When me and you here,
they say Champions League.
Do you guys think so? If it's not at Wembley, does that change anything, or you guys still think that?
No, I'm joking. Of course.
Yeah, because I think if you play any final in Wembley, you're winning it.
So you think in 2024 as well?
I think 2024 as well. Obviously Wembley is a dream because I live in Wembley. Like it's a dream, but like I'm from Wembley. That would be an absolute.
I'm trying to understand this. Are you guys back on not next year, but the week after or the year after?
I do.
Corin's bottled it. Me and CK haven't. Corin's bottled it. Me and CK haven't.
No, I haven't bottled it, bro. Look at my pinned tweet. My pinned tweet says 2024. What are you talking about?
I think we back to back. 2023. You just said 2023, and then you.
No.
Anyways, instead of Dreamland, because you guys got, we're almost 2 hours in, and we've entered the delirium standpoint. Z, mate, what do you think is the
Let me land. Okay,
exactly. Let me land.
What do you think the Arsenal future is for this season? And you can do Dreamland, of course. But
Dreamland, no, I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I feel like I always end up in disappointment after that one. But Buendia, man, he done my nothing, little twat. Anyways,
Bulgaria.
God, I feel like obviously, I feel like we're a few games away from finding out whether we can actually confirm fourth, but before the end of the season or not. So, but I feel like we will definitely end the season in fourth place, and probably win the Carabao Cup. We definitely should beat Liverpool, and then when it comes to the finals, I feel like we're very good against Chelsea in Wembley, so I think we'll do that. And in the future, probably next season, I mean, just challenge for the title. I feel like we need to take things step by step and see how far this team can go before we can see, where we are at. I mean, look, Corin, I feel like what, we can just ride the wave, and if we just somehow manage to get into the quarters, the semis, I mean, we never know where we can be, right? So obviously, Champions League final can be happen. I don't know. I'm not saying it can happen because it's a knockout thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
I
That's not
think,
the whole
I think
thing.
we
Yeah.
need we need to
I think
wet our feet in it, and I think it's destiny that we do it at Wembley, which wasn't
Yeah.
next year. So I see it in 2024.
As do I.
But I do see us doing the double. To be honest with you, I think we do both just to shut up narrative.
Yes, we don't know.
I know I'm with him on that. 2024 is UCL Prem.
That was that. Honestly,
But
my whole
think we do
thing
it back
was
to back.
no. I'll be real. Like, forget the Wembley thing and all that shit.
But we'll do a title challenge next year. I don't think
my
that
whole
we'll
thing
win it though. at
is
all.
top. This was since May, since the end of last season. Was this year top 4, next year title challenge, and a deep Champions League run, and 2024 the double. That's always been the thing. Wembley obviously is a cool thing, but it was obviously a throwaway comment. My entire plan has always been title challenge next year. That has got to be the thing. That's got to be the thing. I said it on Twitter as well.
Champions League in 2024.
2024 is the Champions League. Yeah, correct.
Wait, you said double though.
Yeah, with the Premier League.
Fuck me. Okay. Wow.
So yeah. Any final comments? Because we're getting out of here before 2 hours. I'm not doing another 2-hour stream. So any final comments?
Champions League does not depend on Vlahovic.
No.
I just saw that comment. Sorry.
Any final
just want to say
comments? Any final
comments? I think most impressive team is Man City. Team that beat the most expectations is Arsenal. Changed the most expectations is Arsenal. And I think most unimpressive team, Leicester or Leeds. Leicester, I'll give it to Leicester.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I just think what we've done this season and what you saw against Manchester City is a bookend. I said it both at the review, and I'll say it again. I think that we take our play up a level for the next, 5 or so months, and it's going to get to the point where we've already deserved what we got. But I think it'll be quite clear, and there'll be no debate. I do think that we win the top 4 race quite early, and I think we do it convincingly. I just don't think that we'll be close to third. I think teams will run away with it. But the one thing I think I'll say is Saka will definitely win the Young Player of the Year at the end of the year. And
You should, man.
I think that we're going to end, because I predicted this, with Z, where Emile Smith-Rowe will end at minimum 15 to 20 goal and assist contributions. And I think Bukayo Saka will get 20 or more.
Someone said that before the season started. Wish I knew his name.
All 3 of us. Let's not try and brew you.
Relax yourself.
All of us said it.
That's how the original bet started.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true. To be fair, I mean, Emma Smith-Rowe has probably shocked me the most. I mean, probably you guys have watched Emma Smith-Rowe a lot more than me, and then you guys have probably seen his goal scoring potential. But I think that some of the positions that he's getting himself in, and just being that last man running in the box, it surprised me the most. And credit to him. I'm happy to pay that £50 now if you want me to. I'm just really happy for him. And look, fuck Buendia. I've got no association with him anyways. So it's all good. It's all good.
Will it? Final comments?
It's been a good. I'll tell you what, it's been a good pod, to be honest, boys. I've just had an enjoyable time.
It's been cool. It's been fun.
Nice time, boys. Thank you. Thanks for the ride. Thank you for everyone watching. I'm just looking forward to Arsenal's next game. Up the arse. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And before I hand over to George to do his robot thing, I will just like to say, first of all, thank you for 900 subscribers. Very much appreciated. I know we've been promising a transfer space or something, but you know what the Christmas period has been like. It's been mental with the amount of games. things have been happening, and we just haven't got it together. But we will. I think we're going to address obviously the Vlahovic stuff, the stuff about Cedric. Is he soaring off to Atletico Madrid, or is
Oh,
he not going
Jesus
to be?
Christ.
It's a serious issue.
Their pain sustains me. Okay. There's other rumors going on. Obviously, Ainsley looks like he's off.
There's been crazy rumors, to be
It's been
fair.
a
In the
lot of
last 2
stuff
hours, we're
happening.
gonna have to
Last
recap.
like
everything, 'cause-
legit. I've been like going back and forth while people been talking, and it's been mental. But yeah, go on, do your thing.
All right, robot fans and Elite 5-yard burst. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. You hit the bell for notifications, okay? Make sure that you guys leave comments to let us know what we can improve just from a constructive criticism standpoint. And, of course, for the socials, you can find us at BOP Footy on Twitter. You can find me at GeorgeV_AFC. Willow, mate, where can they find you?
The one Willow baby.
There we go. Z, mate, where can they find you?
Prive Arsenal on the ski. I'm back on Twitter, so guys, make sure you follow my tweets and just tweeting some transfer stuff, and obviously follow all my guys as well, CK, Curran, and George and Willow. Man, missed you guys, man, but I'm glad to be back.
Seriously, we're glad to have you back, my guy. And Buzz Lightyear, mate, what we saying? Where can they find you?
Oh, you saw Moss's comment. What? Anyways, yeah, don't follow these tweets. Follow his accounts.
Did I say that? Oh, damn.
Yeah, you did. And yeah, in fact, don't. I won't say follow me. Follow Mush. Yeah, follow Mush.
AFC Mush
in the
on
comments.
Twitter.
We love
I'll
him.
say
We love
follow.
him.
I'll say follow him. Follow at Pure CKK because he's a don and he posts good
Don't
shit. So,
And Curran, mate, where can they find you?
You can find me at Curran BOP as always.
Yeah, lads, no, it's been good. I'm just glad that, the mid-season review was so relaxed. Thanks, guys, for sticking with us. Honestly, serious thanks for the 900 subs. It's amazing. It popped off, and I was just like, where in the blue hell did we get all of this engagement? So keep it up, guys. Seriously, again, I've said for a long time, once we get to 1K, we've got some interesting content to come out with you guys. A lot more tactical analysis, breakdown, and stuff that you guys always love. And of course, the transfer specials. So make sure you keep the engagement, like the show, comment, share it with your friends, or your family, your uncles. We don't care. We'll take all the love, even from Uncle Partey. So make sure you do it for AFCON. Give him some love, but I hope he loses a little bit, just a little bit selfish shit. But at the end of the day, guys, thanks for it. We got a preview for you probably tomorrow because we've got a game coming up on Sunday. But thank you so much. No OnlyFans, but there will be a TikTok of yours truly doing his favorite Canuck dance. Thank you so much, and I'm going to sign off. So peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace.